TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Dagnan. A man on a motor scooter attempted to flee from Hazleton police last Saturday. Patrol officers saw a man riding recklessly around 3 a.m. near Diamond Avenue and Wyoming Street. Police attempted to stop the scooter being operated by Miguel de la Cruz Sanchez, but he continued to flee until he headed up 320 East Green Street. There, he drove into a backyard and left the bike laying on its side. He was nowhere to be found. Police later caught up with him at a residence on Cranberry Avenue, where he was then taken into custody and charged with fleeing police and numerous traffic violations. He was released on $2,500 unsecured bail. The Pentagon was placed on lockdown yesterday after a police officer was attacked. The suspect was identified as 27-year-old Austin William Lands of Georgia. Lands allegedly ambushed Officer George Gonzalez and stabbed him in the neck at a bus platform that's part of the Pentagon Transit Center. Gonzalez died of his injuries. Lands was shot by law enforcement and died at the scene. Officer Gonzalez was a military vet from New York that served in Iraq before joining the Pentagon in 2018. He was appointed to the rank of senior officer with the Pentagon in 2020. A major contractor will pay restitution to over 1,000 employees following a historic wage theft case. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more.
Heavy equipment contractor Glenn O'Habaker, Inc. pled to 4 theft counts related to violations of illegally diverting benefits from its employees. The company agreed to pay out over $20 million in stolen wages. The State Attorney General's office began an investigation in 2018 to help over 1,200 victims.
Between 2003 and 2018, Hallbaker was awarded $1.7 billion in PennDOT contracts alone. They are one of the largest construction companies in the region, and for violating the Pennsylvania Prevailing Wage Act and the federal Davis-Bacon Act, they will now pay the largest prevailing wage criminal restitution award in the history of the United States of America.
Locally, Hallbaker runs a quarry between Latimer and Pardisville in Hazel Township. According to Shapiro, Hallbaker falsely inflated the cost of health benefits to make it seem like the company met minimum hourly payments under state and federal prevailing wage laws.
Prevailing wage is a requirement outlined in the Davis-Bacon Act and in the Pennsylvania Prevailing Wage Act, which levels the playing field by ensuring that workers make a fair wage for their work. It's not set by the employer. Hallbaker did not set the prevailing wage, but rather it's set by state and federal agencies, and contractors must agree to pay the prevailing wage in order to do a state project.
Under the plea, Hallbaker has to pay restitution to the affected employees within 120 days. A third-party corporate monitor will ensure that the company makes good on their payments.
As a result of the plea, the Hallbaker company is going to pay for all of the wages and retirements that they stole within the statute of limitations.
If workers have any issues with receiving their payments, they can call 814-746-3518. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
A major pet retailer announced that it will be expanding its operations in Luzerne County. Chewy Incorporated will be leasing 155,000 square feet of existing space for a pharmacy fulfillment center in Pittston Township. The total cost of the project will be around $25 million and will result in an additional 400 distribution jobs at the new location. That will bring the facility to over 550 employees when it becomes fully operational. The Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress received funding for their facade rehabilitation program. Our Philip Kaufman sat down with DHAP Executive Director Krista Schneider to discuss acquiring that funding.
State Senator John Udicik and State Representative Tara Toohill announced $50,000 in funding courtesy of the Keystone Communities Program for the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress. We discussed with DHAP Executive Director Krista Schneider the program the funding will go towards.
We established guidelines for facade rehabilitation in the downtown. The way it works is that if there's a property owner who's interested in fixing up their facade, just the front of the building, that's what the funds can be used for. And it's a way to beautify the downtown.
The Keystone Communities Program is designed to support the creation of partnerships between public and private sectors that work to instill growth and stability in communities and neighborhoods.
The Keystone Community Program has been a great source of funding for a lot of our projects, facades just being one of them. And we were thrilled to find out that we received this because over the past 5-6 years we've depleted the funds that we had.
So what exactly does the funding go towards in the facade program?
We've used it before for new paint schemes. Folks have used it for signage. In some cases, a much bigger renovation project, that involved some structural repairs for brick, or taking siding off and restoring the brick, putting in historic style windows. In those cases, that's a bigger project, but the funding is supplemental and it did help.
The beautification of downtowns across Pennsylvania allows for the improvement of communities and can be a major boost for business.
The physical condition of a property not only influences, the value of that property, but the properties around it. And so, just small improvements to show that people are maintaining their properties, they care about them. It really, the perception of the whole downtown starts to change.
For more information, you can visit DHAP's website at www.downtownhazelton.org or contact Krista Schneider at kschneider@downtownhazelton.org. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Mayor George Brown recently announced the implementation of a block captains program in the city of Wilkes-Barre. We sat down with Mayor Brown and discussed the new program and its benefit for the city.
Well, every neighborhood has problems with litter, garbage, and other issues. It might be that the storm drains are blocked up or something else. So working with different groups, a gentleman named Greg Griffin, some other people, they said, Mayor, why don't we look at instituting block captains? And we got into some details about that. So what it is, it's volunteers that want to take over the block captain for their neighborhood, their block. And what they do is they will help clean up the neighborhoods. They'll also identify areas that might be potholes. It may be storm drains that are blocked that we have to send our DPW crew out on. So they help identify areas that need the city to fix them, or they arrange cleanup crews on their own particular block. So they also clean up. So we're looking for people that want to volunteer to be a block captain. So basically it's taking care of your neighborhood, cleaning up your neighborhood. There's over 640 streets in Wilkes-Barre, and you can see it's a big job for our DPW. This will be a big help to us.
The mayor's office is seeking qualified applicants for the new volunteer program. Block captains will participate in a 2-hour safety course consisting of traffic awareness and proper safety procedures. The city will issue garbage bags, litter cleanup equipment, and identification for block captains. Those interested in becoming a block captain can contact Lisa Sanfilippo at her listed email or by calling 570-208-4157. Coming up on Wyln News, shredding rescheduled for the city of Hazleton, plus QB Bo's 13-0 season with the Dogs. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and it's sunny out, so break your sunglasses.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton, Buick GMC on Route 93.
Hey, don't forget we got a quarter mile used cars.
Oh, we do. We have over 2,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock on blazealexander.com. We have a quarter mile here on Route 93, all the way down there. Come by, check them out. Yep, quarter mile used cars. So if you're looking for a great pre-owned car, come to Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. Come check us out on Route 93 and see why we take the deals the other guys won't.
Hazleton Mayor Jeff Cassatt has announced a new date for a paper shredding event for city residents. The paper shredding event scheduled for July 29th was rained out. So the new date, Monday, August 16th, from 3 to 5 p.m. at City View Park. And a reminder, you must show proof of residency, and there's a limit of 3 12 by 10 by 15 boxes per resident. Safe and secure shredding on site is also limited to confidential and sensitive materials only that are not wet or damp. Also a no-go, magazines, newspapers, 3-ring binders, plastics, heavy metals, trash, batteries, cell phones, CDs, or cardboard. WYLN's all-time OT hero, Marty Burns, has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. Berwick's athletic director, Bo Orlando, is on this week. So, let's talk sports. Here's part 3.
I will say the part of the history that you are with Berwick, you were quarterback for a 13-0 team, one of those teams that had the national championship from USA Today, the number 1 ranking.
Right.
What do you remember about that time, and maybe talk a little bit about the pressure of being quarterback at Berwick?
Well, you know as well as I do, it goes in drones. I mean, our class, when we started up, I think I lost 1 game my whole high school career. My junior year, we lost to Coughlin in the Eastern Conference, the semifinals. That was the only game I ever lost in a Berwick uniform. So our class was very, very special. We knew we were going to be very good our senior year, and you know, you couldn't get a big head, or you know, with all the wins. I mean, Coach Curry, even though you know you were 7-0, 8-0, I mean, he had a way to hammer you down and to think like, you know, we're lucky if we're going to get a first down. You know what I mean? And just keep doing the little things and the little things. And there's so many sayings and so many cliches and stuff that we all use from with him. But that's what I said. He's a mastermind. He, you know, when the season ends, he was the vice principal when we were there, and he'd be in a hall, and you know, he'd be telling Mount Carmel and Schmokers, look, you know, he was. One thing people don't know, he was probably one of the best motivators that I've ever known. I've watched a lot of people speak, and I've been through college and the pros and the best of the Lou Holtzes, and Nick Saban was my first DB coach in Houston. I mean, Coach Curry was a phenomenal motivational speaker, and he used that motivation as to each kid, whether you were the bottom kid or you were the top kid. I mean, he just had a thing of keeping everybody right here, and that's why the tradition, and that's why we were so successful, because he kept everybody so humble.
Coming up on Sleepy Hollow's News Choice, we've got pelvic rehab on this week's Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. Stay with us.
Our local area is home to many farmers markets that serve the convenience of our community to find fresh produce from local farmers. One of these farm markets is the Mountaintop Farm Market, sponsored by the Mountaintop Rotary. Each week you will find fresh produce and other delicious treats from Creekside Farm, Simply Delicious Desserts, J&A Farm, and OHF Orchard, plus many more vendors that change each week with a variety of items to shop for healthy and nutritious selections for your family. The Mountaintop Farmers Market is open each Sunday from 9 to 1 and is located in the parking lot of the Crestwood School, located on Route 309 in Mountaintop. Fresh from the Farm, brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network. In life, we have many kinds of partners. Shouldn't you have a partner when it comes to your health? Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Jura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and once again, we are on location at the Hazleton Health and Wellness Center for Wellness Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. Today, we are going to be talking with one of their physical therapists, Ashley Delberto. First of all, how are you, Ashley?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. So today, we are going to be focusing on pelvic rehab. So what types of disorders are usually called for something like pelvic rehab?
Yeah, so we can treat anything involved with the pelvic floor. So postpartum, weakness, we can treat incontinence. So there's stress incontinence and urge incontinence, and that's something we dive into in the pelvic floor. But basically any leakage. And we also can treat just pelvic pain. So sexual intercourse pain or just general muscular pain of the pelvic floor.
Now, what is incontinence?
So incontinence is any leakage of urine throughout the day and or night. And there's two types, stress and urge. So we will look at what factors are contributing to your incontinence and treat that.
Now, when it comes to pelvic rehab, what goes into it?
Sure. So there is an initial evaluation. So just like the rest of your body, your pelvic floor is made up of muscles. So we are testing for the tone of your muscles, the strength of your muscles, and then we're going to look at your overall endurance as well. So there is a small internal exam portion, and then we use a machine to look at the strength and, like I said, the endurance and how long you can tolerate a contraction in order to get you to the bathroom without leaking.
Now, when it comes to pelvic rehab, how would somebody go about, what are the steps that they would take to end up seeing a physical therapist like yourself here?
Yeah, great question. So any primary care physician or your regular OBGYN, you can see them, have a referral placed, and there are many of us throughout the network. So I'm here in Hazleton, and we have some at all of our sites, so I can get somebody in touch with whoever they would need based on their diagnosis and their home location.
That was actually going to be my next point, so I'm glad you said something about that. If there was a situation where somebody came here and it's like, I can help you, but there may be somewhere out there. It seems like everyone here at the Health and Wellness Center kind of is able to point that said patient in the right direction.
Right, yes. So we have a great group of therapists, like I said, throughout the network. And due to COVID, unfortunately, some of the coursework has been on hold, so not all of us have been able to complete all of that coursework. So there are some that I can send the patients to get the right treatment that they need, or I can even send a message through our system easily and get a response back real quickly. That's something that we might be able to work on here with just a little bit of mentoring through the therapist at a different location.
And a lot of the people coming in for pelvic rehab, what's kind of the age range that you end up usually seeing?
Anywhere from 20s up to their 80s. So we're seeing a vast majority of women coming in, depending on the problem that you're having.
All right. Is there anything else that you want our WYLN viewers out there to kind of like really take home from this, whether it be about pelvic rehab or just everything in that?
Yeah, just knowing that it is offered here at the Wellness Center, and we are here for all of your needs. And if it's something that we can help you with, please see your doctor and have a referral and come on in and see us.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for squeezing us in right before another patient.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you, everybody out there. Remember, pelvic rehab, there are options, and they are local. They are right here at the Hazleton Health and Wellness Center, so be sure to take the appropriate steps if you feel that you may end up needing pelvic rehab, and you might be able to see Ashley here, and she'll be able to treat you. That's it for this Wellness Wednesday Community and You. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Hey guys, it's Ray Merrill for Blaze Alexander Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. How about that cheesy sign? If you get close enough, you can see it. But if you pass by Airport Road, we have a ton of inventory. Whether you're looking for a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, we have them all. Get a new Ram truck during the Make It the Summer event. So if you're looking for a new car or a used car, come to Blaze Alexander Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram here on Airport Road in Greater Hazleton, and you'll find out why we take the deals the other guys won't.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So Wilkes-Barre Mayor George Brown is leading the way into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Wilkes-Barre Mayor George Brown. So for those who may not understand what the role of a mayor is, I know it kind of sounds silly to ask, but I think there's a lot of things that come with the job that people might not know about. So if you could tell us just a little bit about, maybe best explanation, a day-to-day in the life of Mayor Brown.
Sure. Well, we have a strong mayor form of government in Wilkes-Barre City, which means that I'm the mayor. I was elected, but I was elected separately from City Council, who was elected, along with Controller was elected by the people. So I do not oversee City Council nor the Controller, but every other department in the city is oversaw by the mayor of Wilkes-Barre. What we do is every day I have a senior staff meeting, and this started last year during the pandemic when we had, it was just a terrible year last year, but we decided to have a senior staff meeting. And this is what I used to do in business, is get all my senior leadership together. We talk about what happened the day before. What are we going to do that day and the next day? And how do we deal with issues that come up? And together, collectively, we work on them. So we do a senior staff meeting, but also there's always other meetings that we have to go to. My job as mayor is to try to promote the city, make sure people want to come back and move back into the city, make sure businesses want to invest in the city. My goal is to make Wilkes-Barre the entrepreneur capital of Pennsylvania. And we're doing that. We're working with investors from New York, New Jersey, but also local investors saying, you want to invest in the city. You want to bring your jobs here. You want to buy buildings. You want to build new buildings. I have empty lots for sale. I have buildings for sale. And it's working. And people are doing that. So my goal right now is to get people to come back, invest in the city. But other things that we're working on is the safety of the residents. You know, every single city has crime, just like every city has potholes. I don't care where you're at. We're working on those. We're working on the infrastructure, meaning the roads. There's 18 parks in the city of Wilkes-Barre. We're updating the parks in the city. So also the main thing is I want to bring back the neighborhoods so people can raise their children and their grandchildren in clean, safe neighborhoods. It's an ongoing situation that we're dealing with, but we're going to do it. It's going to happen. And I'm bringing Wilkes-Barre back to what I call the new beginning, and where people are going to say, you live in Wilkes-Barre? Yes, I do. Wow. Any houses for sale in Wilkes-Barre? So we're bringing it back. And the team that I put together, we all work together as a team. They're all team players, and we all have the same goal. Make Wilkes-Barre safe, make it clean, and bring it back to where it used to be years ago. We're going to get there. Yeah. We really are.
All right. I can't wait to see. All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Mayor George Brown continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Now stay with us. A look at today's weather is next right here on WYLN TV.